Hey, John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take, and today we're going to talk about a 1961 Pontiac Ventura made for Hobby DB, the collector site, by Brooklin. Now, we saw pictures of this about a week and a half ago, but I've got the physical model with me today, and I wanted to go over it with you. So it's kind of a new model introduction, but a model that you're familiar with. But let's talk about nameplates. Let's talk about Malibu, Catalina. Let's talk about Monterey. I mean, it was all the rage to name cars after California towns in the 60s. Well, Pontiac picked Ventura. And what the Ventura was an upgraded trim level on the B-body Catalina 1960. So it had a little bit more content, nicer interior, nicer wheels, that sort of thing. And the model did really well. It did so well that they continued in 1961, had even more equipment on it. And that model did so well that eventually led to the 1962 Grand Prix. It encouraged Pontiac enough to start the Grand Prix. Of course, we all know where that went. Well, the Ventura came in a 4-door hardtop and a 2-door hardtop. It had a beautiful roof line. And Brooklyn's given us a model of the 2-door hardtop. Now, I got to be honest with you, when I first heard about the colors on this model, I wasn't crazy about it. You got a great little box here. It's got the Hobby DB logo on it. But when I saw the model, this model just pops. That color combination works. And the great thing about it is, I've heard some comments about the red trim on the side and the red line tires and whether or not they were available in 1961. And, we at least have evidence that there is one car out there wandering around with this level of trim and this color scheme, and it's run several awards at shows. So let's get this model out, get it on the turntable, and take a look at it. So here we are. Okay, the color just works. A great finish, great chrome, really good lensing in the front, really fine and delicate trim. I mean, this is something that just Brooklyn's been doing really, really well. And that red stripe on the side, it just stands out. Now, we all know that there were a lot of dealer ads back then, that dealers were doing two-tones and that sort of thing. I can see dealers painting a red stripe on the side. Maybe it came from the factory. We don't know. Again, we have the evidence that there's at least one of them. But the red line tires, they just kind of bring the whole model together and remind us that Ventura was supposed to be a little bit of a performance car, B-body, bigger engines, that sort of thing. So the wheels, they did a really good job replicating those 8-lug wheels. I love it. Lensing front and back is fantastic, but I got to tell you, the interior on this one is just a home run hit out of the park. Those tricolor seats, they're just beautifully done. The door panels are well detailed, a lot of jewelry in there. But the one thing, and I know Simon and Darren were excited about this, take a look at the dash and the steering wheel. That steering wheel is just absolutely beautiful. They've done a great job on it. And I tell you something, it makes the interior pop as well as the exterior pop. So, there's a lot of little details on this that really make it stand out from the standard model. The extra trim around the windows, very delicate, very much to scale. True dual exhaust hanging out the rear. The badging and everything is minute. This is a really great model. Now, here's the bad news, and we got some bad news, we got some good news. The bad news is they only made 25 of these, and they're all gone. So, if you hesitated on this one, you didn't get a chance to get it. And so why am I showing you this model if they're not available? I'm showing you the model because Brooklyn's doing some really fantastic work. Most of this model was made in the factory outside of Bath. It was finished up in Hastings. So just to show everybody that Brooklyn's putting together models, there's a lot more coming. I'm excited about what's coming down the pike. But the other thing is that, this whole thing with Hobby DB, they're a collector site. And they are at the cutting edge of collecting just about everything. Of course, they've got 1/43rd models. But if you collect anything, this is a site that you can go to. And there's a lot of data in there. There's a lot of information. But whenever I go to a show, whenever I'm working on the forums, and people always come up with, well, how do you keep track of your inventory? And there are all sorts of spreadsheets and programs and that sort of thing, and a lot of us are pretty detailed on that. But HobbyDB, once you've registered and started an account, you can track your collection online. And once you start doing that, as much detail as you want, a lot of interactivity with it. You can find values, you can find how many of something was made, what colors were made, what variations there were. You know, all of that is really neat stuff for collectors. And it updates itself periodically. So, you know, you buy a collector's book. A collector's book is only as good as it is until the next model from that manufacturer comes out. Well, this is constantly being updated. We've got volunteers that help us. We'd love to have you help us keep everything updated. But we've got a online database in the cloud that you can't lose, can't be destroyed. Your computer blows up, you know, somebody spills a bottle of water on your computer and all of a sudden it's not working anymore. Well, you don't lose all your data. It's right there on HobbyDB. They've got a marketplace. It's just up and coming. And it's a place for collectors to just enjoy the hobby. So this is just the first model that HobbyDB is commissioning from Brooklin. There are going to be more. They've been talking about doing 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 a year. So you don't have to miss out on the next one. All you have to do is go to hobbydb.com and register, and the next time a limited edition model is commissioned by HobbyDB, you'll be one of the first people to know, and you can make your reservation. This model sold very reasonably. I think it's $270 or so. You know, it's a great white metal model. It's incredibly exclusive. Each model was numbered. There's a number plate on the bottom, number plate on the base, and it's a beautifully done model. It's everything that we've come to expect from Brooklin. Great finish, great detail, outstanding interior. And I'm sorry if you didn't get one. I'm sure there will be a few showing up on the secondary market. But for now, the big thing is get in there, get registered, and get in line for the next issue, because I guarantee it's going to be just as nice as this and maybe even nicer. So this is my take on Brooklyn's 1961 Pontiac Ventura for hobbydb.com, the collector's site. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, would you? Would you go down in the right-hand corner and give me a like? I'd love to have you as a subscriber. As of this morning, we had 500 subscribers. I'm excited about the channel. I'm excited about it's coming. I got some number of videos coming up in the next 2 weeks that I'll be able to share with you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.